Alright guys, we are back for another video. So we do know SSR Toshiro is coming today, and we actually have his entire kit now. So we're gonna try and see what the kit is looking like. Yeah, let's actually get in this. So this one is from the Bleach Españoles fandom wiki site, so it's all in Spanish. So this has been translated. It could be here and there faulty, or depending on the translation it may be a bit wrong, but we'll try and interpret everything as good as we can. So yeah, let's actually start looking at the dupes. One Ascension, he is immediately gaining free ice crystals. Now what do these ice crystals actually do? Can we see that somewhere? Ice Blade Slash, these are his skills, counterattack, passive abilities, Frosted Leaves. Okay, there is no information what his specific things are meaning. Like, what is ice crystals? I don't know yet. I can't really see that here anywhere. But nevertheless, you immediately get those. Then, each time a technique, this is dupe 2, each time a technique or counterattack is used, the critical rate is increased by 16% for 8 seconds. This is interesting. Now, already looking at all of these, I can already say dupe number 2 is going to be the most value, right? Because the increase of crit rate is going to be good. So essentially, when building Toshiro, without looking at anything else yet, just looking at his role being a DPS character, I'd say crit rate and crit damage is going to be the main priority stats. Dupe number 3 obviously is increasing the levels. Dupe number 4, damage dealt by techniques, is increased by 130%. 5 is also a level increase, and dupe 6. Now this is going to be a lot. At the start of the battle, the spirit pressure bar is filled. Ultimate critical damage is increased by 30%. Okay, this is good, huh? And then for each stack of current Red Lotus, when spreading stacks of Red Lotus, each stack consumed increases the damage of the normal attack by 40% for 8 seconds. So it seems like the main priority, depending on if you have dupe 6, you want to push his normal attacks as high as possible, apparently. Let's quickly see down here. Is there anything Frosted Leaves without Lotus? Alright, so it's probably this. Upon entering Bankai state, each ice crystal will grant 5% of the ultimate energy. Casting the ultimate within 20 seconds increases the damage of that ultimate by 45%. Alright, okay, so that's that. Okay, I understand. So, if you're trying to wail on Toshiro, then obviously going with the dupe number 6 is going to be the best. Nevertheless, the best value or a good stopping point is going to be at dupe Ascension level number 2. This is going to be the best for Toshiro. If you're like not wanting to spend a lot of money, right? So let's actually take his skills and attack. So basic attack number 1 is going to be Ice Blade Slash. Right, so he hits, dealing 5 hits total. Alright, okay. He will also build up his spiritual energy. This is obvious, right? Dance of the Dragon, Toshiro Condensed Water. Each attack, when each attack hits, he will also receive Ice Lotus based on the number of hits. When dodging or blocking, the number of attacks will not be resetted. Oh, this is good. This here is good, because usually when you block, like during a combo wave, you combo, for example, just dissipates as well. When the continuous attack is interrupted, the celestial phenomenal arrival state will be released. Okay, we gotta read up on this one later. Now, Bankai state, when he's in Bankai, he condenses icicles with which he can attack from a distance. Okay, yeah, sure. We can already see this when actually looking at his gameplay. Because in chapter 7, you're actually able to play with the Toshiro. So this is going to be nice. Okay, so basic attacks is already looking pretty good. Now, technique, Hell is Frozen. Toshiro instantly creates a large amount of broken ice and throws it forward. Alright, dealing 1. Also, it's a ranged attack, sort of, right? Damage to the enemy and accumulating spiritual energy. The enemy hit by this combat skill will be subject to 5 points of freeze value. After releasing this combat skill, an area of icicles will be generated in front of it. Icicles will explode after 2.5 seconds, dealing specific amounts of damage to enemies in this area and applying 5 points of freeze value and accumulating spiritual energy. Okay, so what is this freeze value? Can we actually see this somewhere? Oh, let's see. Ice crystals, ice dragon dance. There is nothing mentioned here. Okay, is it there? No, there is, unfortunately. It doesn't really say anything here regarding these skills. That is unfortunate though. All right, but anyways, you essentially, I'm assuming this is going to be the same as Rukia, right? So let's quickly pull up Rukia. There she is. So this is Rukia now. She has something similar, which are called freezing points, right? So whenever you reach 100 of those, the boss gets frozen. So I'm assuming with Toshiro, this is something similar, but I'm not too sure yet, right? But anyways, Frost rises and Dragon rises. When spiritual energy is at maximum, Toshiro leaps into the air, guiding the ice dragon. Oh, right. Okay, you can actually... yeah, okay, I did this as well during the gameplay with Toshiro. You're actually attacking with the dragon, the ice dragon. Then Toshiro will enter the arrival of celestial phenomenon state, and the basic attack in this state will be replaced by the dance of the ice dragon. Yes, you will basically be attacking with the ice dragon. The animations of Toshiro, by the way, they look insane, right? Looking really beautiful in compared to some other characters. Obviously, Bankai Ichigo is like raw brutality, sort of, yeah. But the Toshiro looks insanely nice, right? So let's actually carry on. Bankai state, Toshiro flaps his wings around, lunges at the enemy and slashes in extreme cold, dealing percentage damage and applying 10 points of freeze value. Again, freeze value points. During the release period of this combat skill, Toshiro will enter an invincible state, and you can click the block button to release a block attack. Oh, this right there is nice. So he's actually invincible during a specific amount. So this is going to be interesting. All right, so he's Bankai Daigurin Hyurenmaru. He essentially covers his body with condensed ice and enters the Bankai state. He can fly around. Yes, I know this. We can actually do this during the gameplay. So we're actually going to look at it in a second as well. Can fly through the air, and all attacks moves will be replaced with stronger moves. I see. All right. Ice spiral and flowers. Toshiro guides extremely cold airflow to make countless ice flowers bloom on the enemy, dealing 1,104%. This is base, by the way. Damage and consuming all Ice Lotus points. Each point of Ice Lotus consumed will provide an additional damage multiplier of 0.25%. Huh. So now the question is, how many Ice Lotus points can you actually gather? Right. This has to be answered, right? His counterattacks, during his counterattack, all right, obviously, distance himself backwards and then runs towards the enemy to the counterattack, dealing damage equal to 500% damage. Okay, sure. Simultaneously accumulating spiritual energy, right. Bankai state, Toshiro lunges forward and wraps a huge ice cross around the enemy, dealing 600% damage and adding 15 points of freeze value. Sure. So his passive abilities, unfortunately, there isn't the ice crystals and stuff like that isn't really explained here. So we're gonna have to wait for everything when it's in the game. Yeah, but this is already looking good. Now he has a passive ability, which is the Ice Lotus, which basically when Toshiro casts normal attack, the normal attack, technical and counter attacks are charged. Upon reaching a certain charge level, one ice crystal can be obtained up to a maximum of 8. Now, these are not the Ice Lotus, I'm assuming, unless the translation is hereof, right? So this is the question. The amount of ice crystals will be displayed on the left side of the health value in form of a cross-shaped crystal. Yes. I do remember this. You can see it when actually playing with him on the left side, actually, just above his sort of the health bar on the left side, where you will have this, and around it there are going to be these sort of crystal icons, right? So these are going to be apparently these ice crystals. Interesting, interesting. Upon entering Bankai state, each ice crystal will grant 5% of the ultimate energy. Casting the ultimate within 20 seconds increases the damage of that ultimate. Okay, sure. Without Lotus, when Toshiro launches a basic attack while moving, he will gain 1 layer of Red Lotus up to a maximum of 5 layers. When Toshiro casts his ultimate, all of the Red Lotus is consumed and the spiritual damage dealt is increased by 3% for each layer consumed. Okay, sure. And then last but not least, Frosted Leaf. For every 1% of Toshiro's critical rate, the damage caused by the Ice Dragon Dance basic attack is increased by 1.12% to a maximum of 45%. So this is exactly what I was looking for. So we're essentially, when building him, want to focus on the critical rate, definitely. Now looking at his, let's actually open these up here. Now this is going to be, we need to translate it real quick. So Red Lotus Ice Dragon is the, is this the stamp or is this the weapon? I'm not really too sure right now. Let's quickly translate this. Let's quickly go back because it's, right, okay, core engraving, weapons. All right, sure. So let's close Rukia. So this is going to be his weapon. Okay. Improves weapon attributes by 50%. Sure. The critical rate is increased by 30%. Oh. I mean, if you want to make the maximum of Toshiro, you want to get his weapon. 30% base value critical hit rate increase is huge. Then again, his damage taken is reduced, so he's going to have a damage reduction. And his basic attacks cannot be interrupted. And the damage will increase by 50%, bro. Toshiro is already, yeah, this is peak. This is peak. And then we have his Proud of the Icy Sky. This is going to be his core stamp. Essentially the 6-star core stamp, obviously. The maximum amount of ice crystals increased to 12 instead of 8. Okay, this is good. And each ice crystal increases the critical hit rate of the ultimate by an additional 5%. So we have a 60% increase if we have 12 of them for the ultimate damage. This is huge. If you add this together with the 30% which we get from the weapon stamp, we already have 90%, just like that. And if we already take then a few things into consideration from his skills, we're going to be above 125%. Easy. Okay, normal attack damage is increased by 15% to the target subject to freeze value. And they will also charge ice crystals on impact. All right, freeze value is most likely going to be the state the opponents will be in when they are frozen, so to speak, I guess, right? So this is going to be interesting. It's also going to be interesting to see how this actually works together with the freezing capabilities of Rukia. I'm wondering whether the freezing sort of states the opponents can be in actually stack or are stackable. These are all questions that need to be answered. But yeah, this is looking so far very good. So we already have his kit, right? We already have the weapon, and we already know what the stamp is looking like. So this is going to be interesting. Now, I will be making a video once he drops, after I did some testing around. But as for now, early team, I would predict something like Toshiro, main DPS. Rukia is going to be the tactical battlefield skill unit. And then Momo is going to be the best support for the team. As of now. If Momo isn't going to be good support, then I could assume that maybe Kisuke or Orihime will have to take the spot as supports in the teams with Toshiro. But for now, it's looking very, very promising. I'm actually very hyped for Toshiro. Let me know down below in the comment sections what you think about all of this. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, then make sure you do it now. Videos are coming daily and it's free of charge. So yeah, as always, thanks for tuning in. Take care of yourselves. Until next time.